What's good, y'all? Elvis here. So lately I've been cutting more and more kids. Elvis, I thought you said you don't cut kids. I say a lot of things, but if you got questions about it, watch that video. Long story short, I occasionally do cut children, but they're not my target demographic, and I almost exclusively cut my clients' kids only. And it's the same price. Boo! They're kids. I can understand why people don't like that, but I charge the price I charge for my time. If that's a problem, feel free to take that anywhere else. But recently I cut this one kid. He wasn't a difficult client or anything. The haircut went smoothly. He was like maybe 10. So I'm trying to start a conversation with him, just because this is the first time I've ever cut his hair. So, just build a rapport and all that. With kids cuts, you want to prioritize them being comfortable. And I've also realized a lot of barbers don't talk to kids like they're people, which does not help them be more comfortable and enjoy the haircut process. So I'm trying to build rapport, asking him questions. And he's just kind of like he's not talking. And my first thought is like, oh, I guess he don't talk. And I kind of just assumed that because the questions I was asking him were not yes or no questions. But not all kids are rowdy and real talkative. Like I was one of them real quiet kids. I was weird. If you ask anybody I went to middle school with, I was weird. And back then, it was a lot harder to either hide it or just lean into it and make it cool. I didn't really talk to people, but it's really because I didn't feel like I had much to say or cared about talking to people. But I was also a kid who would walk through the hallway reading a book. I'm talking about full attention on the book, walking through the hallway. Hey, don't let these glasses fool you. My peripheral vision, A1. All right, so I'm cutting this kid. We about 25 minutes into this haircut. And the entire time so far, he's only nodded, gave me signs, or whispered really low. So I'm just assuming he just don't talk or don't want to. You got it. You don't want to talk, that's fine. As long as I can get this haircut done to everybody's liking, we're good. So I get to the point where I'm lining them up, and before I line people up, I wipe them down with some alcohol. And for first-time clients, I usually let them know hey, this is gonna be a little cold. It's not that cold, but it's cold enough to get a warning, you know what I'm saying? So I'm telling him about to wipe his forehead. But as I'm about to wipe him, he looks up and says, I've done this before. And to be real, that caught me super off guard. Just because I knew he talked. Kids talk. It's on their own time, but kids talk. But the way he said it was so matter of fact, I've done this before. It was so funny because that's low-key me as hell. I was like, okay. But basically at this point, as far as the conversation, we cracked the seal. So I'm like, shoot, let's talk. So I started asking him about kid stuff he likes. And he wasn't really giving me one-word answers, not really interacting until I mentioned PS4. And when I say this kid's eyes lit the hell up, and this kid started talking and did not stop. He's telling me about stuff happening in Fortnite, Minecraft, new games coming out, PS5 stuff. And of course, I'm keeping up conversation, just steering it along, because he's telling me about some stuff that I already know about. But when it comes to conversation as a barber, it's less about trying to tell people stuff and just trying to steer the conversation. Because when you talk to people about stuff that they like, they'll keep talking and you'll build a great rapport. At this point, we cooling, laughing, all that good stuff. And after the cut, I gave him a craft over clout sticker because I just give those out to my clients. And bro, he had the biggest smile on his face over that sticker. He dapped me up and said, "You my brother." Yes, sir, boy. Boy, what? Hey, bro, I'm not gonna front. That put a battery in my back. I don't ever cut kids, but man, that shit made me feel like barber of the year. That has to be one of my most positive child cut experiences. But later in the day, I was thinking about it, and I was wondering, why do you seem so surprised when I started talking about PS4 and stuff? Then I realized, wait, when kids look at me, they think I'm a grown-up. Keep in mind, I'm 24 years old right now. I've been an adult for a little bit. I have no idea when I made the transition from adult to grown-up, because there's a difference. To me, an adult is someone who's I guess, biologically an adult. I think once you're 18, you're an adult. But being a grown-up is different. I guess a good way for me to describe it would be an adult is someone who's grown enough to handle the responsibility of themselves. But when I think of a grown-up, I think of a super adult. Anybody who's a parent or, responsible parent, I consider them to be a grown-up. I'm not gonna ask a young adult about taxes. I'll ask a grown-up though. Now when I really think about it, I'll be bossing the fuck up and handling my stuff. I guess technically I'm a grown-up, but it doesn't sit right with me. Sure, I'm an adult in my mid-20s, but I've only been an adult for going on 7 years for real. So in the adult world, I'm 7. And while I consider myself a young fly prodigy or whatnot, compared to people that are 30, 40, people that are for show grown-ups that have been adults for more than a decade, I don't think we're in the same league of being grown-ups. Cause honestly, bro, while I still be about my business, bro, I'm a kid at heart. I remember being a preteen and I had cousins that were 20. Wow, big bro, you're 20. I bet you got it all figured out. Spoiler alert, they did not have it together. Now I got little homies looking at me like, dang bro, you're 24, you got it together. But I'm not gonna sit here in front. I'm not gonna sit here in front for a 24-year-old. I'll be handling my fucking business. But for as far as the things that I'm shooting for, I'm nowhere close to that. I don't have anything together. I'm just figuring it out on the way. I generally joke when I say stuff like growing up is a trap. Generally joke is a little truth. Growing up happens way quicker than we can register. Right now I'm real young, so my perception of time is a lot different than older people. So, I deal with impatience and other things, but the older I'm getting, the faster I'm seeing time progress. And it makes me so thankful that I don't play about my time. Like, I'm young enough to be fucking up for the next 5 years. Consistently for the next 5 years, just fuck up. And then wake up thinking, oh, I'm gonna get it together. And then I got time to get it together. But that's in theory. None of the time past today is guaranteed. So I'm glad all my time goes to the things that I actually care about for real. Because I'm excited about getting old. Not necessarily about like my body deteriorating or anything like that. But with age comes wisdom. And if I continue to grow into versions of myself that capitalize and utilize my time the best way possible, I'm gonna be accumulating wisdom, resources, valuable relationships. My life will look infinitely better the longer I live if I keep the same attitude of growth. All right, but that's my video for today. I appreciate y'all watching. If you got any value, enjoyed it, go ahead, like, subscribe, all that. If you haven't already, follow me on Instagram. I know you want to, @CutsByElvis. Thank you again. But till next time, Crafter McCloud, I'm out.